I'm here in Medjugorje at the foot of Apparition Hill, and what's your name?
Julia.
Julia, where are you from?
Boston, Massachusetts.
Is your friends all from Boston, and you're also the first time here in Medjugorje?
It's my first time here, yes.
When did you hear the first time about Medjugorje in your life?
I don't know, like exactly when I heard about it. I feel like we've had, like the different Medjugorje rosary beads like around my house. My family is very Catholic. My dad came here. He had cancer, and my dad came here with Artie Boyle, who some of my friends have been talking about. He was miraculously healed of his own cancer, and so my dad came here kind of with the hope that the same miracle would happen, which it didn't. But I don't think that ever dampened his belief, and certainly doesn't mine. So I don't know, everyone has always talked about how it's really peaceful, and I really believe in the apparitions, and I'm excited about the secrets, and so so I've just always wanted to come here.
And now you're finally here the first time. Youth Festival 2022, and
yeah.
What is your experience here?
My experience here, I feel like this is such a place of peace. It's just very clearly like a holy place. Yeah. I've been to the Holy Land, and I've done the whole Holy Land pilgrimage, and one of the places that we went when I was there was the Holy Sepulchre, and it's the church built over, or it's a cathedral, I don't know, it's a church, and it's built over the spot where Jesus was crucified, and there's the rock where Jesus was apparently laid, and you can go and you can touch the hill that he was crucified on, and that place felt extremely reverent, and you kind of walk around and everyone's very quiet, and it felt odd. But this feels more supernatural even than the Holy Land. Medjugorje feels more supernatural than the Holy Land.
How would you describe it?
I feel in the same way that it's really hard to describe what it's what prayer is like. It's really hard to describe a thought process. You kind of just have to have that experience for yourself. You can try the best you can. You could describe what a color looks like. You could try to describe the color blue, but you're never really gonna know what blue looks like unless you look at it yourself, or trying to describe a smell. It's impossible unless you really experience it yourself. So I don't know. This is just. I really feel I've talked to a couple people. I'm a pretty social person. I love talking to people, and I've talked to some people who are just here on a tour. I think even if you aren't religious, you definitely come here just as a tour. And I just feel everyone that I've talked to, I feel if we were doing a word bubble of how people describe Medjugorje, I feel peace would be the biggest word without a doubt. So I don't know. It's just a peace that I've never really felt. Life is just really busy. I teach middle school, and I'm just running around literally all the time. And I still try to pray. My prayer life has gotten better in the last couple months, just because I've been trying. But it's a kind of peace that I've only really ever felt occasionally in adoration. But it's all the time. You're just walking around, and it's just.
Were you always Catholic, or special?
I mean, yeah, I was no special conversion. I was raised Catholic, but I never. I kind of, it's I was Catholic, I was just Catholic in name, but then I kind of recently in the last few years, I kind of realized it was something that I wanted for myself,
Why?
So.
Was there an initiation?
Why?
An experience that you said, because I can feel that you dived into it.
Yeah, no, I feel I was looking for places in my life where, there are places in your life that you find joy. There are things in life that give you joy, and I feel a lot of times people, you just want to be happy, and you obviously want to be joyful, and so you are chasing these things that give you joy. And it took a little bit for me to kind of realize, actually do some reflection and put in some work and realize that joy isn't the end goal. Joy is an indicator, a compass pointing you. Joy is just a compass pointing you towards the divine, is what I realized. And I think that there's a lot of times that people will like be really deep into their spirituality, or you know, you're super deep into yoga. Like I love yoga, like cool, but I just think that people, it really makes me sad because I see a lot of people, I don't think people realize that what they want is God. Like a lot of my friends, like they want something more, and they're like, you know, I want to be a spiritual person, or like, oh, I'm spiritual but not religious, and it's like people have a really hard time with the idea of like, you know, like the church, which I get, but I think that what people really miss is like they see the church and they see all like the human flaws that have happened in the church and neglect the fact that like church without faith is just like an organization of people. Like the essence of it is like really just like a faith in God and like a relationship with God. And there's no easier way to get closer to God than through Mary. And so Mary's here and present. So I've just always wanted to come here. Mm-hmm. So here I am now. Little tangent.
Sure. And why would you say Mary is the easiest way?
I mean, I just feel like not only have I just like heard that, but that also just kind of like makes logical sense to me, you know, like if she's like the queen of the earth and like has been assigned to us on the cross like as our mother, then wouldn't she want, like doesn't any mother want the best for her children?
Exactly.
And if the best for her children is to get closer to, is to like, you know, be in heaven, get closer to Jesus and be in heaven, then I feel like she would make like like the yoke of make the kind of like the yoke of suffering that you are going to endure just as a Catholic, as a Christian. Like life isn't easy, and if you are searching for like an easy life, like good luck. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna find it. And I don't know, but I feel like it's giving me like an entirely new perspective like on just the sufferings of life, like the fact that, you know, through Mary, like suffering is purpose, or through Jesus suffering is purpose, and I feel like Mary, you know, is just constantly around, great intercessor. Why wouldn't I call on my mother? Like I call on my mother, I'm like, Mom, how do I, you know, do my taxes? I'm like, why wouldn't I call on my heavenly mother to help me with, you know, getting closer? Yeah, everything else. So
beautiful.
Yeah, I've tried to do the Marian consecration a couple times, and I keep like getting to day like 6, but I'm gonna do it. This time I'm going to do it. I know, step by step. I feel like that's the other thing that is really special here, is that things are like slow. In the United States, things are very fast. Life is very fast. Things are very slow here. And so it's really kind of made me think about faith. Like I can't just like say like a ton of prayers all at once and then suddenly have this really strong faith. Like kind of looking back over my own journey, it's been years. It's taken me years, and I'm grateful that I ever started and didn't. I mean, I never gave up, but I slacked. But
beautiful to see.
Here we are.
Here you are.
So,
and what would you tell people like about what is so special about Medjugorje? Why should they come? Even not Catholics.
Okay, even if you're not Catholic, I mean, first of all, I think it's a beautiful place. I think it's a beautiful place, and I feel like, you know, if you're not Catholic, if you're not Catholic, cool. All right, come here and prove that there's something. Come here and prove that there's something that isn't different. You know, I just this intense sense of peace. Like I've heard just so many like random people who are like, oh, you know, I didn't like believe in these apparitions. Like it's literally someone in our group is here and didn't believe that the apparitions were really happening. They're like, oh, I think that the visionaries are just like, you know, having an intense experience. And then he is going to, we went and we were like camping outside we were like sitting outside one of the visionaries' houses, and while he was having an apparition, and then this person who didn't believe in it was like, I smell roses. Like, you know, like it was like, does anyone else smell roses? And everyone's like, no. And so I just think that if you really don't believe in it, but if you really don't believe in it, then either one thing, you can like choose to be ignorant, or you can say, no, I'm going to prove to myself that it's actually wrong. I'm right, and I'm going to prove that this is wrong. But you can't prove that you're wrong if you're not even potentially open to it being right. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like, come here. You can't just go into an argument and assume that your position is correct. You have to be open to any possibility to know that you're correct. And so I feel like if you come here, and this is like literally rambling all over the place right now, I don't know, it's a hard thought to collect, but I feel like it's you could come here and it could be a completely secular place if you want, if like you are not open at all. You just have to be open. You have to be open, because I think that if you are open, you will notice that something is different. You know, I think it's impossible to like just not feel some supernatural sense of peace here. I don't know. It's maybe not the most concise answer, but I don't know. I just really feel like, you know, if you can afford to come out here, afford the time, yeah, just let it come see for yourself. Come here, and then tell me that there's not something different.
And even pray about it if you can't afford it. I saw so many people, they got a present somehow, and they got here, you know. It's not about the money.
Yeah.
If they really want to come here, they will be coming here.
Right. It's just like, if you really think that there's nothing, just come here, but then say, God, you know, if you do exist, why not show yourself to me? You will know. I think it would be hard to come here with an openness to the truth, whatever the truth may be, and then not kind of realize.
Beautiful.
I don't know. So yeah.
Thank you for this beautiful interview.
Thank you.